Killing Joke. They have a new single out called Lord of Chaos. Now, I mean, I'm calling it a single. I guess it's probably an EP. There's 4 songs. But there's only 2 new ones. The first 2 and the other 2, Big Buzz and Delete, are from the Pandemonium album. No, that's Pandemonium album. Oh, God. I'll put it up on the screen. It's from the last album they did before this one. But, so there's 4 tracks on it. And the first 2, like I said, are new ones. And the song itself, Lord of Chaos, it's basically, like, to me anyway, it sounds just like I Am the Virus. It's almost like, and there's a part of it too, well, not a part of it, I keep wanting to sing the chorus to the weight, listening through it, but it's great. It's not bad. It's just reminds me a lot of I Am the Virus. And that's a good thing, because it's a good song. I feel like they settled into this thing now with, now that they have like the original guys back in the band, or the original 4, they've kind of settled into this sound that is more consistent. I mean, they still do a lot of experimentation as far as like the electronic stuff. They took the 2 songs they took from the last album, they added, one is like Big Buzz from the last album, which is more of a guitar-centric song, and they did some sort of electronic music stuff to it, which they've always dabbled in that stuff, and some say they created it to some extent, industrial anyway. So it has some of those trappings on the 2 older songs that were from the last album, but the other new song after Lord of Chaos, Total is called. It's another good one, and I like the fact that he uses that his sort of old vocal style a little bit, like it's less growly, or he's mixed the 2 of them, like his more recent sort of shouty growly thing with the sort of I almost said Night Shift, Night Work. What's that album? Oh, yet another aneurysm. But I took this route back here because there's usually no one back here. Usually being takeaway word here. It's just hard to do. It's hard to concentrate when there's like people all around you. But that's why I took this backward. But that's okay. That's my problem. It's not yours. Yeah, I was kind of hoping for a whole album, and they still might be coming out with a whole album. But it's cool. I like it. I like the new songs, of course, are more interesting to me than these refashioned older ones. But hopefully there is a new one on the horizon. I think his voice sounds great. It's again, he has the newer stuff, like the newer, I guess, post 1990 even Killing Joke is a lot of that throaty kind of growly thing. I like that voice too, but it seems like he's going back to more of his kind of original, or trying to. But yeah, it sounds great. They sound great. They're one of the best bands ever. Certainly one of my favorite bands. I'm not as deep into them as, I guess, even though they're one of my favorite bands, I'm not as deep into them as some other Killing Joke bands I've met or talked to. It seems like people that get into them really get into them. But I was going to wait on to talking about Lord of Chaos because I had a Killing Joke related incident, which I think, and this is a totally schizo take, which I think may have had. I can't talk today. I don't know what happened. May have be connected to the last Killing Joke video I did when I talked about the documentary. I wasn't bagging on their black magic thing. I was just trying to point out the difference between I guess, magic systems, if you want to use that term, comparing pre-veil breaking days when people wanted to summon power or energies. It was a lot more work. They had to do a lot of the Crowley type stuff. And people now are being able to do that kind of stuff just naturally, because we do that kind of stuff naturally. We just weren't aware of it for a very long time, or very few of us were aware of it. So I wasn't really dogging them, but I think I was a bit caustic, I guess, in some points. But it was really more about the movie, not about them. And yeah, I think I might have angered the whatever demonic spirits protect them, because I had like a Killing Joke related meltdown. It's a much more interesting story than this very skint review of their new single EP, whatever it is. But I got to figure out how I'm going to approach explaining that thing. But I will, and I'll do a much better video about it than this one. But yeah, I just wanted to talk quickly about it because they are one of my favorite bands. I'm glad they are still putting stuff out. And they got the original guys, which is really cool. There's not a lot of bands doing that kind of thing. And jazz sounds great. Everybody sounds good. So it's good to still have them around. There's not a lot of good bands from back in the day that have maintained their original members and are still making quality stuff. And they've always made quality stuff. It's sometimes they'll go a little off the, off the range with the experimentation. I mean, not for me, but they can zigzag sometimes. I mean, you think about the difference between Brighter Than a Thousand Suns and, anything else. I mean, that wasn't even the most far out one. I would say At the Gates would be more far out than that, but it's not really far out. I mean, if you're a Killing Joke fan, you've kind of seen all these different lefts and rights and the zigzaggery. I didn't get into them till later, so maybe for me it's not as jarring, because growing up in the 1980s in America, the music coming over from the UK, the only way you would hear about a lot of bands was in like a magazine. Kerrang used to talk about them a lot. Well, a lot relative to, I don't know, whatever else you talk about, Iron Maiden. But, yeah, there wasn't a lot of, I mean, their stuff would have probably been played on college music radio shows and not, and college radio shows are great. I love college radio shows, but I wasn't listening to the type of college radio that I would have heard them. I was more into the metal and punk stuff. So they occupy a strange space because they use a lot of stuff from those genres, but they're hard to classify, which is a good thing. Also a big reason why I like the band so much. Another one of my favorite bands. Very different, in a very different situation, but yeah, I love this mall. No roof. It's cool, unless it rains, and it's raining in the mall. Check out Don Ho. Don Ho. Tiny Bubbles. It's pretty cool. This started as a Killing Joke review video, and it's now become just a walking Waikiki video. So whatever. I've hijacked my own thread. Yeah, this place is cool. I like this mall. It connects the two main streets here. Kalakaua and Kahio. Kalakaua being like, I guess, the main tourist kind of drag. I live off Kahio, which is the next street over. So I cut through here a lot to get to my house, It's like an alley. It's a nice alley, though, I mean. I'm kind of upset because GameStop left. They moved out. Their last day was this weekend. So $35 Batman action figures are no longer just a walk away, you know. There's this Kona coffee place over here, and the line in the morning, you still might be able to see it, still might be here. I always throw money in these things, but I don't have any change. I used my card today. That really gets my obsessive compulsive shit going. But so anyway, oh yeah, there's still a line. It still feels weird to be walking through here with no mask on. They were really, really strict about that kind of stuff. You know, they'd follow you around until they corner you about it. But the thing is, when you're in a mall, it's like all you have to say is, oh, okay, I'm leaving. And then you just, you know, you can go. Actually, we go this way, so I don't have to cut through the line. This is the line for the coffee place, man. There's another place over here, like a noodle place across the street, which is kind of like the same thing. The line like wraps all the way around the corner. It's just for like, what do you call those noodles? Oh God, hot pot. Yeah, it's kind of like this, like an enormous hot pot. Right? Kona is a Hawaii brand. They actually sell cans of it here. It's pretty good. I used to buy it by the case when I used to go to, I say that. I didn't actually go. The girl used to go. The girl. Sam's Club, thank you. I was trying to think of the place she used to go all the time. She'd go with their parents. But she's been busy, so she hasn't really made that trip. We don't get the, what the fuck am I talking about? Who cares? But yeah, what happened? The Killing Joke thing. I did a video about their documentary, The Death and Resurrection Show, which, and this drives me crazy. In the video, oh shit, I do have change. In the video, I called it the Death and Destruction Show because the upload I was watching it at mistitled it as that, and it was driving me crazy because I was like, why wouldn't they just call it Death and Resurrection Show? And I was like, is it because of, it's supposed to be like a reference to the nuclear war thing? Because like they're so obsessed with that, and that takes up, you know, a lot of runtime in that movie, if not their career. You know, he was really, Jazz was thinking the world was going to end like in 1983. Like he thought the world was going to end any minute. He would say like, yeah, it's about how far are we from total destruction, and he would say it's this part of your finger to the top. I mean, he fled to what was it, Iceland? I think it was Iceland, right? Is that what he went to hide from the end of the world? I think so. But yeah, he was pretty certain. So I can almost imagine how he feels now. I mean, I'm sure he's changed his point of view quite a bit. And I mean, he was much, you know, this is what, 40 years ago, 30 years ago? However math works, you know. But, yeah, I can imagine what he thinks of the world. Well, he says in the lyrics, as mentioning earlier, I was mentioning the song on the virus earlier, which Lord of Chaos sounds kind of like, just like, and again, that's fine because it's awesome. It's almost like when you know, AC/DC or Motorhead, and I'm not putting them in that thing, of that repetitive kind of derivative thing, but the Ramones, Motorhead, AC/DC, they're good derivative. Make 100 songs like Let There Be Rock, I don't mind. But Killing Joke never really does that. They don't have a lot of derivative things, so not only will I give them this one, they could make 10 songs like that, I'd be happy. But the lyrics in And the Virus are really crazy because they, as well as describing kind of the times that we've seen the past couple of years, they have a lot of, I guess, what would be considered like truther type lyrics. It's really good stuff. His lyrics are always great. But I was going somewhere with that. I was making a point with that, but I think I got pinged again. I'm just going to blame all the Alzheimer's attacks on being pinged. If you don't know what being pinged is, I think I've described it in the past 10 videos. I'm starting to feel like a broken record. The problem is, I was talking to someone, there was a commenter on the channel talking about how there's a lot of good stuff in the old videos, the earliest ones I did. That, I mean, you know, I don't have many viewers as it is, but there was even less views on those. But the problem is, it's like when I cover something and I think I have it, I get the point across or get the concept across, in my mind, I'm done. You know what I mean? I'm like, well, that's settled science. I never have to talk about that again. But like, no one's heard the tape. So I should look through that stuff and bring some of that stuff back. A lot of things about dreams. Our functionality within the 3D realm. There's some cool stuff in there. Stuff that would just come to mind, and I just grab the phone and start, you know, talking about it. I just get these like schizo thoughts, you know, and that's what I called them. You know, it was I used to have them grouped under the schizo thoughts playlist. I'm redoing my playlist. I don't know if that helps or it's just I want people to be able to find things if they wanted to. Like the way it is now, it's like it's just everything's a mess. Like nothing's in an order or anything. How you doing, man? What? No, you tell me what's going on. Oh, okay. Oh, good morning, man. I'll see you later. But Sherry just got pinged again. I didn't forget. But yeah, if you were to see something and think, oh, wow, that's interesting. I wonder if there's anything else about it. Good luck finding it, because there's no, like, rhyme or reason to anything. And on top of it, I don't describe what any of them are about. Like, I'll just have some weird name in a thumbnail that has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. Title has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. So it's like, well, what's the point of that? You know, I'm not, because this whole thing wasn't designed, for me anyway, to like try to build a channel. I just wanted to get these ideas out there and to hopefully get people to have conversations about it. I was always shitting up everybody else's comment section. I'd like to take them over to talk about things. I'm like, well, why don't I just do my own comment sections, and then I don't have to shit up anybody else's. The problem is, I mean, you know, the traffic volume is much lower, so, but, you know, and I get, there's enough good regular people that come here that, and I've got a lot of good information. I get emailed a lot of stuff, and when there's something that I see that's a good take, or something that I could tag another idea with, I will. But we're almost back at the house here. I'm gonna go in for a bit. But yeah, that was that's Killing Joke. Lord of Chaos. It's fucking good. I like it. Listen to it. It's great. Hopefully they'll put a new album up. And hopefully they don't, the demons that protect them don't curse me again. Because that was a fucking wild weekend. Don't blame your teacher. Blame the school.